morning. Here we are back at let's see, podcast number 4. Is it 4? I believe it's 4. I think we have 3 going. Week before Christmas. Hope everybody's having a good winter. We're doing pretty good this year, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's
Busy.
been so busy. It's been so busy. We've had a lot of sickness.
Oh, yeah.
So we've kind of dropped back in making our podcasts. I'm really missing it. Did you miss it?
I did actually.
I really missed it. So I'm kind of digging it. I'm thinking maybe are we going online today with it?
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we're putting it out today, our first one.
I love that you're well enough that you've got the energy to be like, yeah. And I'm like, go for it.
Still sick? Not so much.
Still sick.
So can I just, I know we never do the intro the same, but I kind of want to talk about my brain thing that happened.
Okay.
Can we start with that?
Sure.
Okay. Super excited about it. So much that I even put it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
I never go on Facebook. We are on Facebook. So I'm Mimi, right? No, I'm Tracy Jessamine on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Mimi Massage, right? On Ravelry.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're what?
I'm Courtney on both. Although Facebook, I
She doesn't
literally
do
never,
Facebook.
ever go on it.
I
I
sent you a
don't
Facebook thing, by the
know
way. You have to-
why I actually have it.
She just never has. Yeah.
Because I never do it. I go on Ravelry
She's a Pinterester.
all the time.
Oh, we're on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Do we need to let that in the information go too?
I don't think so. I don't even remember what I am on Pinterest.
I'm pretty much Massage Mimi on every bloody thing. So
Except for Facebook.
except for Facebook. It's true. It's true. I had Facebook before I came up with that name.
Yeah.
Before grandbabies. Yeah. So anyway, what I want to talk to you about today is multitasking with our knitting, or I call it multi-knitting, where you do the same project multiple times on one needle. So it's kind of, my brain kind of works like a machine.
So she goes, oh, I can knit one of those. You know what would be better? If I knit 5 at the same time.
If I have to have 5, why not, right?
I'll just put them all on the same needles.
And they're done.
If you can knit a pair of socks at the same time, then yeah, I can totally knit 5 stuffed animals all in one go.
It's true. So I was getting into, last time we chatted on the podcast, I was really getting into the handbrakes from Bakery Bears. And I just love that pattern. It's a great pattern. I have a tendency to get stuck in a pattern, I think, and I have to kill it.
Yeah, she
And
knits
get sick
it
of it.
until she's absolutely
And then
tired of it, and then
I don't
everybody
want
has
it
one.
Right.
Which
and
is awesome. Because then you bump into people who are like, oh, can I have one? And Mimi's like, yeah, I'm not knitting.
Yeah, no, I did that. And, the sad part of it is it's a really cool thing, and I kind of get sick of it, so I don't want to play it no more. But, so this handbrake is really cool, and I like how it looks. I like how it knits. And so I'm like, I have to knit multiple ones before I get bored, right? And, excuse me, and not want to do it anymore. So, in the past, I've had no problems doing that, have I? Not even a thought on how to do that. Well, here's my, and this has been 2 months, if not 3 months that I started this, right?
Yeah, you've
It's
been
been
going a long time.
And this is what it looks like. There it is. On one needle, I got 2 handbrakes on one needle, and complete different yarn, so I could, I was having the hardest time. My brain.
I like that green.
Isn't that pretty?
I wish I could wear green. Green looks
I don't
wretched
know
on
what
me.
I'm going to do with this one. But anyway,
That's really pretty.
these weren't for anybody, just my own brain, because I couldn't do it. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, why I couldn't. I would think about it, I would visualize it, and I would go, and it didn't work. You've seen me.
Which is weird because she casts on socks that way, where she does the 2 socks on 2 circulars.
That's right.
At the same time.
That's right.
And I have a hard time casting them on so that way you're knitting in the same direction on both.
Right.
And so half the time I'm like, cast on my socks. Because she gets it.
It's not even a thought. It's like, I don't understand what you're having a problem with. And okay, so people that have easy times with something realize that not everybody can do that. And I'm horrible about that. I figure if it's easy for me,
It's easy for everybody.
Either for everybody. And
You think it's a no-brainer if you can do it,
I do.
which
I
is kind of
do.
insulting when you're the person going, I don't get it, would you do it? And you're like, why? It's the easiest thing in the world. Thanks.
It's
Love
true.
you too.
It's true. I kind of do that. So I got really upset because I couldn't do it. I could not physically do it. And the two that I showed you, I had to start individually on different needles, put them on the same needles because my God, I was gonna do it, and I was gonna figure out how. And I just couldn't, so I just put it away. I was gonna wait for our next podcast to show, look what I can't do, and try to find a happy space in that because I was having a hard time with that. It was really pulling me into some deep depression, and so. But my resilient bullness in me, I just wouldn't allow it to drop. Bullness, is that the word?
Bullheadedness.
You know, so my crest, my family crest, my birth family crest is boar.
Yeah.
We're booths, we're boars. And stubborn boogers, man. We are stubborn boogers. And I just couldn't let go because it was so not a thought before my treatment. So I went crazy. And thank you, Kate Jones, for another pattern that I can do. Number three pattern. My little Gelato giraffe. I chose this one. We have a new grandbaby in our world. Her name is Emma Pearl, and she was born 2 days before Thanksgiving this year. And so I decided to make this for her. And it was so stinking cute and relatively easy to make. I made it relatively easy.
Yeah, you made it fast.
I kind of went cray-cray on it and thought, oh, the grandbabies need this. I have a 6-year-old grandbaby and almost 4-year-old grandbaby that's having bad dreams. So I decided to make these, and I'm going to stuff them with some smelly stuff as well as some maybe rocks or something. And
when you say it like that, it sounds weird.
it does sound weird, but well,
I think like a rose quartz or something like
definitely. Well, I'm not going to put a bunch of them in there, but something that they can feel. So when they wake up with a bad dream, they can squeeze it, get the smell out of it,
Yeah.
and then feel something hard. And I told them that their bad dreams, the giraffe is going to eat their bad dreams. It's a bad dream eater. And they're super excited about it, which made me have to make, I've got 5 grandbabies, which means I had to make 4 more. And I have to do it before Christmas. Because that's how I am, right?
Yeah, which is a week away.
Yeah, next Friday. So I kind of, in need, went back to that multiple knitting again. Because, again, I can't figure out why I couldn't do it. And I was stressing over something else completely, not knitting, and I wasn't paying attention to my knitting to see how it works. I'm sorry, so I don't know the trick. But I started knitting my...
Maybe that's the trick. You just can't pay attention.
I felt like it was kind of like algebra. Don't ask why, just bloody do it. And it worked for me.
Every algebra teacher in the world is like, don't say that.
That's what my algebra teacher told me in junior
Really?
high. I was barely passing school at the time, and my algebra teacher told me, don't ask why, just do the formula. And I got A's in algebra. Not kidding. Like math skills up the wazoo because I don't ask questions, I'll just do it. So anyway, didn't ask questions, just did it. And I got these two together on the same needle. These are my Irish twins, little Ripley and Ever. And then, because they were so good to do, I did 2 more on the needles. And those are for Zeb and Tessie. And then, for a good challenge, because I'm always into. So I did it, and I didn't know how I did it. So now I have to put the challenge on me, right? 4 sets of ears, which means 8 individual ears. I'm just going to show you one of the ears. 2 hours, people. Look at me. 2 hours. Crazy, right? 4 sets of ears. Itty bitty tiny little things. While I watched a movie last night. Outrageous. Blew my mind. I can't tell you how happy I am. I feel like I got another piece of my brain back. I feel like trying it repetitively over and over and over and not giving up, maybe allowing some crying to happen so you're not stuck in the depression that's pounding you down because your brain's not working and all that wonderful thing. Got through it. I feel like that made the synapse happen, that electrical pow, and it lit up an area that was in the dark, that was lost a little bit because of chemical exposure. So super happy today. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, one of us excited today. The others not so much. So. Yeah. But that was my intro today. Sorry.
I'm really excited for you.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. I slept better last night than, because anything's possible now. I can get into my yoga again. Anything is possible. I can work again someday.
Yeah. It's
Merry Christmas to me.
Ha!
Thank you, Creator.
You look a little smug.
I'm a little snug. I'm just super happy. Super happy today. Anyway. Okay, sorry. That was my intro.
That was her had to share.
I had to share. I had to share it. So, people out there, you can do it. You can do it.
You can bounce back.
You can bounce back. I'm excited. So anyway, okay, done with that. I'm sorry. So, Courtney, what do you have on your needles?
I am literally just finishing my cast on of a set of fingerless gloves because I have been super on top of getting ready for Christmas, not for extended family. So much so that a week from Christmas, I'm like, what should we do for them?
Did you get your baby blanket done?
No.
You're not doing it because of the Christmas obligations, right?
I'm nighttime knitting it.
Obligation knit.
Yeah.
Snap.
I knit it at story time.
Nice. Okay, sorry. I was just curious.
Yeah.
We hadn't talked about that project.
So I'm making some fingerless gloves, and if I really, really knit on them, I can normally do about a pair a day.
Okay.
And I've got I think 5 that I need to do. So, I really got to get on that.
Nice. You know what? I just realized I'm sitting here thinking while I'm listening to you, and we're putting, if we put the podcast, our first podcast out today, our Christmas podcast isn't going to go out for way after Christmas.
Yeah.
So guess what? This is what our Christmas looks like this year. Sorry, okay.
And so I'm making for my sister, and I'm using up stash yarn. And this
so do you
yarn,
not know what it is?
Yeah,
what that
not
means?
a clue.
Okay.
Super, super fuzzy, so I'm just setting out the word of most likely natural fiber hand wash only. This is for my sister, and then for my sister-in-law, I will do this.
So you're doing fingerless gloves for both the girls
And the guys.
Oh, for
doing it all
all
around.
of the adults.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to get my husband's done in time,
Oh,
which
I'm
is a
sorry.
bummer, but it's a complicated one because I actually have that on the needles too,
Mhm.
and I have it here with me. Arrgh.
Is that the one that has the weird
Yeah,
little
they are
creature in it?
Cthulhu mitts, Cthulhu fingerless gloves. I think they're really cool. He likes them. Let's see. Okay, so.
So what's Cthulhu for all of us non-nerds out there?
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft invented Cthulhu. He was considered a real pioneer in science fiction writing. He started writing, I think, when he was 14.
That's
or
really
something
cool looking,
crazy young.
Courtney. I had not
That's
seen
the
that.
palm. And again, here's the beginning of the tentacles.
That is awesome. Do you have your book so you can
I do!
Wasn't that a smooth transition?
It was. So, here is the book that the pattern is in. Geek Knits. Super duper love this book. It's really awesome. For all of you geeks and nerds out there, they have really rockin' patterns for a bunch of different fandoms.
So that's what you're making.
That
right?
is what I'm making, and that's the chart of what it'll look
And
like.
it's his fingerless gloves?
Yeah. here's
what it looks like on.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I'm really super stoked. And I mean, like, this book has just some cool patterns in it. Really excited to knit a bunch of them. They've got, like, multi-sided dice pillows, which I think is really cool if you have a gamer in your life. Cute pillows.
I liked those. Are you going to make those?
I want to, yeah.
Knitting them?
Yeah, you knit them.
They're ginormous.
I know, but I made the giant Totoro.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's true.
And that actually knit up pretty
Never mind.
fast.
I'll keep your turn. I'm interrupting.
But lots of different stuff. There's, you know, like Game of Thrones stuff, Doctor Who, Sherlock, just cool, fun stuff, random stuff. Great knitting book.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, very excited to have this.
I feel like I gotta explain that moo that I just mooed at her. I'm not calling her a cow. My granddaughter watched the movie Home, and she's 3, and she's got the cow joke, the knock knock interrupting cow joke. So we interrupt each other a lot with a moo.
Yeah, because you know you're the interrupting cow.
Because we're the interrupting cow. Moo.
The cow is to be interrupting.
But anyway, sorry about that.
It's all good. Yeah, that's what I got on my needles. That and the blanket that you guys have seen. Although I have done a lot more on it, I just don't have it here with me because, yeah. Although now I'm having to take it downstairs because we have a new cat, and he loves to play with things.
Uh-oh.
And he's discovered my yarn is actually really adorable. It's hard to take it away from him because he's so stinking cute with it.
Yeah, it's not cute when they're over a year old doing that.
I know, that's why I'm trying to remember. Because he's stinking adorable.
Okay. What else you got?
That's what I got.
That's what you got.
That's what I got. What about you? What's on
Okay,
your needles
what's on
aside from
mine?
your giraffes?
So I've got more giraffe stuff today. So I got the bodies done. So all the main knit stuff is on. I don't have any of that on my needles right now. And I am doing 4 at a time, so it's a little intense. So I make sure that I have a good 4 hours of knitting possibility, so I could knit it and get it done. So I have horns. I think horns are the next thing I'm going to do. Which will be 2 sets of 4. You know.
Yeah.
And then hands, you know, their little feet and the arms and then the tail. So that's kind of going on my needles in a cray-cray way. As I sit here and knit, we always have something on our needles that we should always have something on our needles that we don't have to necessarily pay attention to. And we can talk and knit and all that kind of stuff. So right now I'm working on my Duchess of Devonshire shawl. It's coming along beautifully. I am making it bigger than it's calling for, not longer, but wider, you know, thicker, deeper, a little bit more rose. And we'll see how that works out. I'm really happy with it. I'm not working it much because of my obsession with giraffes at the moment. What else do I have? I was just talking to Courtney. I feel like I've been a knitting fool and I just don't have knits for you guys. My cousin was here for the holiday, Thanksgiving, for a couple of weeks. One of the reasons we didn't get to do our podcasts. It's hard to do with company. And we got her knitting. We wanted to do her with our podcast so bad and it just didn't work out. But got her knitting. Shout out for Christina. Keep it going, girlfriend. You're doing awesome. I'm loving the pictures that she's sending back to us. But while she was here, I, on the needle and off of the needle, did another handbrake into a big shawl, bulky, super bulky material.
You made it into like an infinity scarf.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I really liked it. It was a black center with a white and trim. Thank you, baby. And it looked really good.
It really
looked
did.
awesome. I don't have it to show you. Sorry.
It was cool.
But I enjoyed it. I want to make one for me. What else am I doing here? Oh, I wanted to show these little guys. No, 'cause it's
your
not on. Yeah, I will wait
stitch
until it's
marker.
off, you know, that other bit that I do. So on the needles, I have this. I have my giraffes.
You have
I
your
have
two
those
hand
hand
breaks.
breaks that I've put them away. I'm hoping to pick them back up after I get my giraffes done. I'm probably going to separate them and just kick them out and get them done. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'll keep them on. Who knows?
She is stubborn.
I got that little stubborn bug in me. I do. So,
We should take
crazy enough.
bets.
I think that's all I've got.
I'm going to say she's going to keep it on and be stubborn and refuse to take them apart and finish them that way.
She's so ornery sometimes, isn't she?
That's what I think.
Okay, Courtney, what's off of your needles? I think that's all I got. I can't think of
I
anything.
have literally nothing off my needles. Like, I have finished. Nada.
How does that make you feel?
Aggravated.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've finished craft projects.
I'm sorry. I've got to take this. Can you chat for a minute?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I've been sewing, and so like the pajamas that we had talked about previously, and like the pillowcases that I showed, I
I'm so sorry.
finished the girls' pajamas, so the pajama pants with little pockets and two camisoles that go with it. Got one of the boys' pajama bottoms done. His top is almost done. I just need to add the buttons on both tops, and I need to hem the other pajama bottoms, and then I need to finish up the baby sleep bag.
So you've been crazy sewing.
Yeah.
Needles in a different direction.
Yes, I have been
Crazy
sewing. And I don't have them to show because the ones that are finished are wrapped underneath the Christmas tree.
So I'll have
Christmas
we
Eve.
won't be doing it Christmas next year or this next week. We won't be doing this next Friday.
Nope, it'll be Christmas Day, right?
Right.
Well, maybe we can do it Monday after then.
Maybe.
Delayed Boxing Day.
I love Boxing Day. For my years in England, I just fell in love with that. So yeah, let's. What was I gonna do? Off the needles.
Yeah. What did you
So
get?
mine off the needles.
You kind of
are-
have already given away your
I
off the
did.
needles.
I did. I talked about all of
They're
my
like
offs,
gone to homes
because I don't have any to
and are no
show.
longer here.
None, not one bit. So I already did my needles off. So let's go rogue. I know. I've not talked to her yet. This is my daughter that just had her baby. So do we want to pause this,
Yeah.
or do you want to chat?
I think we want to pause because that means she's on her way.
Okay.
We'll be back. And we're back!
Yay!
That fast. Blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye, especially for you guys. It's a little bit longer now, but
It was a blink of an eye.
that was good. I really want to turn that on.
I know you do.
I'm trying hard not to. Okay. Where was we?
Appreciate it.
Now we gotta think what's
Rogue.
Rogue. I like Rogue. Okay. You first? Me first.
I already talked about my rogue. My rogue has been the sewing and rolling around feeling miserably sick.
Yeah, she has been pretty damn sick these days.
I've been getting good at it.
And that is not something that we want to be good at. So my rogueness is, and I did do this for Christmas for my little Courtney because it was kind of cool. And I can't do it for my other daughter, so I just went ahead and gave it to her so I can show them now.
Yeah.
These aren't the ones that I made for her. These
Actually-
are the ones I made for me.
On. I'm
Show
using
them,
one
show
of them.
them, show them.
Ta-da! It's an awesome stitch marker. Isn't that pretty?
So I've never really been a stitch markery bling fan.
Oh, I love bling.
You know, and
Make it shiny.
my stitch markers have always been yarn.
Utilitarian.
I just take a
Utilitarian.
well, yeah, you could call that. I just take a piece of yarn and do a slip knot and stick it on there. But it's effective, right? And you never lose
It is
them.
effective. I used to do that all the time
It's
until
so much easier.
I like the pretty ones. I like the pretty ones. I find the pretty ones easier. They slip over easier. They have a weight to them that's nice.
They do have a way.
You don't have
I like.
You don't have stray bits of fiber pulling off of your slip knotted stitch marker that's getting embedded into your knitting.
It's true. There's a whole lot to a plus. You're right, and they're pretty. And when you're knitting them, you feel good because you come up against a pretty, right?
And if they
and you started actually me doing that because she made me some pretties, and it was just like, oh, my knits have bling. It was fun. I liked it.
And it's like you can get a stitch marker that has a bead on it that just makes you smile or means something to you.
Right.
Or like I did a swap and I made Harry Potter ones. I made Gryffindor stitch markers.
Yeah.
That it's like, they just make you smile.
They do. So I went to Michael's and I used them all. Oh, can you show them your end piece? I'll show you these first. These were the first ones that I made. And this one's for...
This is one of the first ones too.
A small... You don't have one that I made?
I don't have the heart one yet.
I got the beads at Michael's. Little, what is that, Courtney, please?
Dragonflies.
Thank you. And the beads came with it, but I also added some of my own, I guess. So, super, and I think it was all under $5 for the whole things. So, sorry about my fingers. They're kind of icky today, but... painting them pretty. So that was the small one. I know, right?
So unprofessional.
So bad. Okay, there it is. And here's the big one for the big needles.
Love it.
If you guys don't do stitch markers, I highly recommend making some.
And if you don't want to make them, you can go on like Etsy if you want cool looking ones. And seriously, there's like everything under the sun.
I might get to the point that we do that because I know we have an Etsy account.
Yeah,
and
we should.
I might. I'd like to do that because I really enjoy making them.
Because they're fun to make.
They're a great kick in the pants.
But before she got into knitting really strong, she was in beading.
I was a big beader.
Lot. Like loom beading,
yeah.
Beaded Christmas ornaments, like everything you could think of, she would bead it.
Yep, I did.
If it stood still long enough, beads.
Yeah, and I did wire wrapping jewelry for a little while, and I found it to be hard on my fingers. It made my fingers sore. Metal I have found in wire form is, not soft.
Cat's awful cuddly today.
She is cuddly. So this is from my wiring days when I was doing wire jewelry, and I kept them. Little round tippies there, and that's all I used. Just that.
And wire cutters, yeah.
No, I didn't even do wire cutters.
Wow.
I twirled it upon itself. Let's see if I can get up a close little. If you look really close, I don't know. I don't mind it. They each come out just a smidge different. I'm going to try to get it up close enough to this camera so you can see the twist. Are you seeing it, Clark? I stop moving around.
I do. I see the twist of wire.
I just twisted the wire upon itself, and it's let me see. It's such light wire that it just bent, twirled itself around. It was fantabulous. But at Michael's, they have the stuff. Here's my little bag. They have this stuff, and this isn't it, but it's in the same direction as these guys. That's the one that I made. I'm trying to get it not to
glare.
Come on, you booger. Anyway, that's what I'm using for the stem. And at Michael's, they have the end has a little heart on it. So cute. And that's what I made hers out with. Loved them. And then my other package for the rings that I use are... it's all torn up, so it's not going to give you the information. I'm sorry. But this is what they look like in my bag. Let's see if I can get them up there. Hold still long enough to focus. 2, 3. And there's 2 different sizes. Big needles and small needles. I don't know if that's what their design is for. That's just what I use them for. And they make fantastic stitch markers.
Really, really nice.
My Super Rogue process. Oh,
really
honey, and buttercup. And then, what else did I do that I wanted to show Rogue style? That's all I got. Okay, archives. Burp.
I have no archives.
On your hands?
Well, I already showed these ones.
Okay. I've got a couple archives, and they're really old. Excuse me. This is a neck wrap. So one of the things that I do, I seen this was made way long time ago. When I was looking at doing Kate Jones's shawl, I wanted to make sure that I could do it my own way, so I could make it work. And so I just made a bunch of weird neck wraps. And this thing was sitting on my needles for absolutely years. It is a knitting stitch that Courtney taught me,
Oh yeah.
called
What was that?
fishtail,
Fish scale?
fish something. I don't even know.
I don't remember.
Awesome stitch. Awesome stitch. We need to figure out what that is. Okay?
I'll look it up super quick.
Because it is an awesome stitch. It takes forever because you're stitching and then pulling the stitch over the stitch that you just did, and you're kind of double stitching. It makes it a really super thick material. I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. Kind of go up there and let you see that crazy pattern. And this is done with bamboo, 100% bamboo.
Fish scale.
Fish scale. And
It's called
I
fish
wish that you could feel it. Doesn't have a lot of give, but it's super thick. And I was making a undershirt. Excuse me. I'm just going to not take that one for right now. An undershirt because of some of my challenges that I've come across with the making my new normal. And it became like really small width-wise, and that wasn't going to go all the way around me. So I'm not a frogger. This stitch took a lot
Fishbone. Sorry, not scale. Fishbone. Called the
to
fishbone.
do. It's a great knit, but it takes more time, and you have an amazing piece of fabric when you're done. So I didn't want to frog it. I'm not a good frogger for one, so I'm a good reprocessor. And I thought, well, why couldn't I put a lace around it of some kind? Not a lace. What is this called? What is this?
Edging.
Sure, edging.
Ruffle.
Ruffle? Yeah, it's kind of ruffly. And so I did it and said, it's finished. It's a neck wrap. Didn't start out as a neck wrap, but it has become a neck wrap. It's actually, I can't say it's my favorite, but it's high up there. It gets used. Super warm, super cuddly. I think it's kind of cool looking. So that's that. And throwback right here. This is my first undershirt that I made. Can I get your help, sweets?
Oh yeah, sure.
Again, bamboo. And we're going to pull it up halfway so you can see the bottom. Bottom's all black. It's hard to see. And I put
She made it like an under one piece.
Yeah, like a one-piece undergarment. Put a crotch in it. Probably gonna take the crotch back out of it because it ain't working for me. But anyway, a lot of fun. This has been done for like 4 years, 3 years, somewhere in there. And then behind you, again, I get obsessive and I have to. Nope, not that one. It's up. That's the shirt that's sitting. Yeah. This is my. Actually, this is the first one that I made. I have to admit, this is the first one. This is what it looks like.
And it's got the same
It doesn't have the
multicolored on
crotch.
the end. It's just like an underslip.
So I made this, and huge. It's huge. Not a terror outer. So I gave it to a friend that just loves it. She loved it to death, like to death, and brought it back to me with holes in it. And I fixed it up for her, and this is her Christmas present. Back. She gets it again.
Regifted.
Regifted. So,
the same person.
but she's just like, I gotta have it for the winter. Well, you know, she's just gonna have to have it for half of the winter. And then I have another one, fourth one, final one. It is done. Not liking it. So I'm kind of done with that pattern. But it was a good pattern. It was a good fun one to do. That
It took
was
a long time.
oh man, I was on it for a year and a half, 2 years. Played with that sucker a lot.
Do you have a cable needle?
I do somewhere.
That's my problem. I know I have one too. Somewhere.
I'll have to find it. And then
And I mean, like, I literally just had them because I had a pack of 3 and I gave one to Christina for her kit.
oh, shoot. That was fun making that kid up, huh?
Yeah.
Anything else, love?
I don't think so. I can't think of anything else.
Okay. What do you have going on your needles? Waiting for your needles.
Waiting for my needles, I have a couple of things. Once I'm done with my Christmas knitting, Zeb, my oldest son, wants me to knit him a scarf, and he's super into Zelda, Legend of Zelda, and so he wants a Link scarf with like a green one with a Triforce on it.
Your husband's into that too.
Oh, it's his favorite. It was like his favorite from when he was a kid. That's a holdover from now. It's continuing to be his favorite.
Chat a minute. I forgot my tea fairy because our tea is the next thing to discuss.
Yes.
I'll be right there.
So he wants the scarf, and the baby blankets that I've been doing. All of my children now want baby blankets, and my husband thinks I should knit a big one for the couch. So I have a queue of blankets to be made. Although I think instead of doing individual squares, I'm going to attempt just color working the whole thing and casting it all on huge needles and just going to town on it like that. So that way I don't have to bother with connecting it. I'll just have to weave in ends in the end.
So I can say, being so far, like, it's been 4 weeks since we've sat and done this.
Yeah.
And I'm really having a hard time getting it together.
I know.
So, wow, kind of weird. You too?
It's like we got it into a flow a little bit, and now we're like,
I kind of miss that. I miss that it was starting to get not easy because, guys, as you know, it's not as easy as it looks. But yeah, it's kind of hard to remember where was I, what have I showed, what have I done.
Right.
I have. And I think I've already talked about this process of if you knit for a certain amount of minutes, you get dopamine drop. And so I've been using that a lot. So I know I've been knitting like a fiend. But yet I can't think of anything that I can show. So anyway, blarg, blarg. Here is Miss Peppermint. I can't remember which one she was. She was maybe number 3 in my...
Swirly twirly
Come on, twirl. There you go. Come on, a little bit more. There she is. I was trying to get that top of that hat. Kind of made it like a crazy peppermint candy, yeah. And then turn it all the way around. And so if you see her from the top down, she looks like she's sitting on a peppermint candy, right? But anyway, she's a fun little thing.
Ripley liked her.
Ripley really liked her. Ripley likes everything. Love those Caram babies. And then this is Mrs. Chamomile.
I like her flower skirt.
Mm-hmm. And of course we have the ladybugs going on always with my needle felting. Watch out if I figure out how to put a little nick of a knitted one in there.
Ooh, I saw a cute pattern for a ladybug tea cozy.
I want to show you. She's got like earrings and everything. That was real fun to come up with. Oh, that's a pretty good picture of her with her face. I miss these. I miss needle felting. I don't miss poking the crap out of me, but I miss needle felting.
We started needle felting magnets.
We did.
And that was really fun. In fact, I still have them on my fridge, and they're my kids' favorite magnets.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Get
So,
in there, dearie.
those are my fairies. So let's talk about tea. So today's been a weird tea day. Actually, last couple of weeks has been weird tea.
Yeah.
We've kind of dropped off on our tea world because we've been crazy over tea. You're doing peppermint today.
Yeah, I'm doing peppermint
Got a little
today
bit of a
'cause I'm
tummy
not feeling
going,
very good.
so she's doing peppermint and hot water.
Although I still have at least 1 cup a day of like Earl Grey or the super
Sorry.
ultra spice
Gotta
from
take that off.
Twinings. We always do Twinings. That's what we do in our house.
You are a twiner. You know, I've been doing throat coat because of sore throats, sleepy time because of sleepless nights. What else have we been putting in our teas these days? Oh, I guess that's it. So we've been really bouncing back and forth. I like my chai. I got some chai this morning from the coffee shop. Let somebody else make my tea. It's always nice.
What was that chai that Michelle had?
I don't know.
Because that was really great. She had like a liquid chai. So it was an already brewed chai tea concentrate. And you just added it into warm milk.
We're gonna have to ask her
And
because it was pretty good. I'm a
was
chai snob. It has to be
super.
right,
It
and
was
can't have.
awesome.
A lot of chais have black pepper in them, and I get that. I know that's part of the chai, but I don't want black pepper tea. I want cinnamon. I want. Oh, hello, you.
I know, she's super cuddly today.
I want, yummy tea. I'm a sweet toother. I probably need the pepper, but
See, when I have a sweet tooth, I want my shortbread cookies with like an Earl Grey cup of tea. That to me is like a sweet tooth.
I didn't even
So
get the tea cookies that you made the other night.
Really?
for
You didn't
tea.
get
I
any?
didn't get none. I think she should make some. She makes awesome tea cookies. Awesome. Thanks.
They're super easy. Unfortunately, they have a lot of butter in them because they're shortbread cookies.
Shortbread cookies. Of course they're butter. That's all they are. It's butter and
I know.
sugar, right?
It's
A little
butter,
bit of flour.
sugar, flour, and vanilla. That's it. And I use the gluten-free flour mix that I make up.
Nice.
And they turn out really well. I like them. But I think Santa's gonna get brownies.
Brownies are a good thing. Santa likes brownies.
Well, I figure we can frost them and let the kids decorate them with sprinkles and stuff.
There you go.
They'll have fun with that.
So do we got anything else? Have I showed that duck yet with the soap?
I don't think so.
It's pretty cool, and it's not finished yet. Can you scoot
Do you
over
wanna
so I don't have to? This one's I first wet felted, and it's home dyed wool. I wet felted it around. No, kitty. Wet felted it around a duck. Nope, that's not true. I wet felted around soap. Sorry, guys. That's what it kind of looks like. And then I started needle felting the shape of the duck.
But it was already like bird-shaped soap, yeah?
It was
Because
bird
isn't
shaped
that the chicks?
soap. It is the chicks that you make. So Courtney made the soap. It's homemade soap. And there's in the head, there's just a little bit of soap, but the body is complete bar soap. And then I needle felted the little beak on it. I've got eyes to put on it yet. Sometimes I put an O on the chest for the Oregon ducks. Sometimes I just let it be a little ducky. Anyway, you can take this in the shower and get it
Makes
wet.
a great scrubby.
And it's a great scrubby. You don't need washcloths because it's wool. It's a little scratchy, right? So the only thing that I can say I've had come back to me is it kind of gets gross. But if after you scrub your skin, you have to scrub it like you're washing it. You have to scrub all the skin off of it, right? It's kind of gross. But after the soap is gone, so it will shrink because it's wool, right? As it goes. And it still has soap, even after the soap is gone.
Yeah, like there's excess bubbles in the wool.
Right. It's
There's
cool.
a lot. It
It's
it
really
dissolves into the wool.
Cool. It does dissolve into the wool. So, and then I just throw the wool away when I'm done with it, and it's not subbing anymore.
I do too.
Because I figure in the garbage, the landfills probably could use some natural wool, right?
Yeah.
Or any bug or
Just chuck it.
bird or anybody that might find a use for it. But anyway, I think that should go on Etsy. I think we need to make some of these because these are fun and cool and not hard to make. What else?
I honestly think that's it. I think that's all we've got around. Everything's kind of been put around and moved around.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be
It's going to
seeing.
be the ones for.
I know.
It's kind of, I feel like it was kind of a weird one today.
It
But
was a weird one, but we're both
We'll
still
see.
recovering from
You
being
know,
sick.
it's been crazy. It's been really crazy. So maybe after the holidays, things will kind of calm down a little bit, and we'll kind of calm down a little bit, and things will get a little back to normal. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Right?
Who knows?
Okay. You guys keep knitting out there and have a good time.
We'll see you soon.
And happy holidays.